showing?
Right. Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
It is not, because I think we are talking straight bangers. Straight,
Okay.
I'm in the club, this comes on, and I'm dropping everything to go to the dance floor. Okay, so let's go country, grammar, and fantasy. That's a wash. Okay, both their first hits,
All right.
biggest hits. I will call that a wash.
Okay.
I would put EI too for Nelly.
All right.
Just the open alone of EI. Is enough to put it number 2, and I don't think anything that Ludacris has in the catalog can top EI.
Roll out.
Can't top EI.
Yeah. Area codes.
Can't top EI.
I don't know about that one.
All right.
I don't know about that one.
There's the bias.
I
Okay,
don't
there
know
we
about.
go.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about that.
You mean to tell me when you hear the intro to EI and you're out at a party or you're at an establishment that you're not like, oh boy, I'm getting a warning. I'm getting like a 12-second warning before I get to the dance floor.
Sure, you get the warning, but as someone who's from New York that can be in the middle of this ATL St. Louis war that we got going on with David Dennis Jr. and ATL and you representing St. Louis, you heard roll out anywhere. Dun, 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 and that was your 12-second warning as well when it comes to EI.
Yeah. Move.
Yeah.
Get out the way.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Wait a minute now.
I love starting stuff.
This is unbelievable.
Oh, it is. But
Classic.
I'm just saying that Ludacris number 2s and number 3s match up quite well with Nelly's number 2s and number 3s.
Well, we also concluded that
Wash was a little dip on the chip with the word wash.
we concluded that a lot of Ludacris's best work was when he was featured.
Yes. Whereas
Still
Nelly
counts
is
in the
straight up
verses.
Nelly songs.
Still counts in the verses.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
Features count in the verses.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, this cannot count as a Ludacris song.
No, nor should it. Who's doing this?
This would even
Bieber.
cross my mind. As
Yeah.
This,
It's
this
like
was-
one of his most famous songs.
This is biased DJing right here.
Complete bias,
This is
DJ.
probably
DJ
his
right
most
here.
famous song.
It is not even close to his most famous
It's
song.
up there.
It is not. Stop putting that
It's
in
up
the ether.
there.
I don't know.
That's why.
This
That's why
verse?
dumb stuff gets reintegrated all the time. Stuff like this. Don't do that.
Okay, well, we could debate Nelly versus Ludacris all show long, the same way that people debate LeBron versus Michael, if we're talking GOAT of a certain rap era or GOAT of basketball. And you guys, I feel like we're saying this so much this season, but LeBron James breaks another NBA record. He does it last night. He and the Lakers defeat the Cavs 127-113, and LeBron James passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most wins, guys, in NBA history. He picked up his record 229th career win, and he does it against the team that he obviously started his career with. LeBron just having a very interesting season, not only further etching his name in NBA history, but this new role that he's taken on with the Lakers, the way that they're kind of finding themselves down the stretch. David, what was your reaction to seeing LeBron have yet another record with his name on top of it last night?
We're running out of records. We're running out of things. Like LeBron mentioned a couple weeks ago that his teammates have been making fun of him because he breaks a record every game. And it's kind of getting to that point. Like, I don't even know what other records there are to be broken. Like, by the time this thing is done, we're going to be talking about all of these, like, oh, yeah, you kind of got a record. Oh, but LeBron actually has the record, but it doesn't really matter because he's so far ahead of everybody else.
Right.
Like, that's what we're going to be talking about. He's got – They're making up new records for him to have, I'm pretty sure, and new patches and new things in his jersey. It's just adding to the accolades. And when we're talking about the GOAT conversation, this is where LeBron James knows that he can cement himself past Jordan in this aspect, is that LeBron James does not have a Wizards era in his career. He's not going to have a Wizardsy type of end where you say this isn't the same guy. Like, even LeBron not being the same guy, did you see the dunks he had last night? He's leading the league right now in transition points. Like, he is still moving like a guy who's 10 years younger than he is, and we're not going to see the fall off in the same way that we saw with Jordan. He knows this, and he's embracing these accolades at the end of his career.
I've always said for the longest time, Smalls and David, that LeBron is the greatest athlete that the NBA's ever seen. And he keeps cementing that in my mind and everybody else's minds time and time again, playing at this kind of level with that kind of speed and agility. And he's passed 20 years in the National Basketball Association. But I thought it was interesting when it comes to GOAT conversation. There was a great interview with Michael Jordan with Gayle King on CBS Sunday Morning. She asked him that same question. He says, you really can't have GOATs because so many different players in different eras. You got to compare this era to that era. He's never been a firm believer in that. He says, people want to put me on top of that pedestal, put me on top of that mountain. It is really hard to do something like that. That's where it gets complicated, in my opinion, with the legacy of LeBron James, because you're always going to compare him to the ghosts, whether it's Michael Jordan, whether it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whether it's Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, Magic Johnson. But what he's been able to do is, in my opinion, going to be unprecedented. I don't think we're going to see this ever again, with a guy still playing at that kind of athletic marvel level that we're seeing in year 23 from LeBron James. Of course, he's not as agile as he was when 18, 19 years of age. None of us are. But still doing this better than guys far younger than him, that's where the legacy should not be complicated, no matter what kind of GOAT conversation you want to have with LeBron James being in the middle of that.
Yeah, and all the credit in the world goes to him for the way that he's taking care of his body, the conditioning that he endures year in and year out. He has really put himself in a position with his dedication and his sacrifice to be able to still compete at a high level right now. But, Freddie, you said that we may never see this again when it comes to LeBron James, but there is someone that thinks that we will see someone who's currently playing in the NBA be in that GOAT conversation. Here's Kendrick Perkins talking about Victor Wembanyama.
In 30 years, the GOAT conversation is going to go like this, in no particular order. Wemby, Bron, and MJ. That's how the conversation is going to go.
Wemby, Bron, then MJ. David, I see you having a reaction there. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, I love when people try to play futures game in the present, and it always comes back to haunt people and bite people.
I said David.
We don't know what this is going to look like 30 minutes from now, much less 30 years from now. But Victor Wembanyama, I get it. He's as tall as Yao Ming and as athletic like Kobe Bryant. I understand that you want to extrapolate that 30 years down the road. How about we try to extrapolate in the playoffs this year before we start a GOAT conversation? Perk may not even be alive by that time. I know I won't be alive by that time as far as that goes. So why are we continuing to do this? How about let's enjoy Victor Wembanyama for what he is right now? He is an alien. There's no doubt about that. His greatness has been accelerated a lot quicker than anybody could have anticipated. It's okay to stay in the present and not say, let's bring the storybook. Hey, children, 30 years from now, when Victor Wembanyama is an older man, maybe still playing the NBA, man, 30 years ago, this is when it got started. I'd rather enjoy the greatness of somebody right now that's an MVP candidate, that has the San Antonio Spurs as a legitimate candidate team to win an NBA championship. How about we leave 30 years from now, and enjoy the greatness that we got right now involving Victor Wembanyama?
Okay, so Perk, of course, out on a limb, a little much dip on the chip. But I will say that this is ultimately good for the league. Because one thing that the NBA, more than any other league, thrives on is the GOAT conversation, especially for my age group, for millennials. We have only known the NBA in terms of GOAT conversations. When I was small, we knew Michael Jordan as possibly the GOAT, and we watched him win those championships and retire in 98 as the greatest player of all time. And almost immediately upon his retirement, we had another GOAT conversation because we were talking about Kobe right after Jordan retired. And then LeBron comes in 2003, and now LeBron is the GOAT, and he has his 20-year reign. And now Victor Wembanyama comes right up behind him. I was concerned about the state of the league if we were not going to be able to have these conversations about who the next GOAT is after LeBron retires. But if Wemby can pick up that mantle and have us really having conversations of what does it look like for the post-LeBron GOAT, I think it is ultimately great for the league because we don't know a league without a GOAT conversation. And if Wemby can start cracking up.
I'm going to push back on you right now. That's one. No, David, you are very intelligent and very smart. You're telling me that the NBA is going to be better having GOAT conversations? That's just silly to me, and here's why. How about embrace the fact that we got superstars right now? Because that's what got the NBA in trouble, in my opinion, post-Michael Jordan. We got to look for the next Michael Jordan or somebody to compare to Michael Jordan, and they were trying to put guys up there that had no business being considered superstars. Superstars happen when they're supposed to happen. That's always been the beauty and the genesis of the NBA. It's not about GOAT conversations or comparisons. It's about, man, that dude is doing something and kicking behind and taking names. That has made the NBA. That has made the NFL. That has made Major League Baseball. Not GOAT conversations just to have something to talk about. The greatness of somebody gives you something to talk about without comparing it to somebody that either played. You want to do a comparison with guys in current age? Absolutely. I'm all for that. But to compare GOATs and have that is not what made the NBA great. I think that's ridiculous.
That is what we've always had since Jordan was making his mark. And now Wemby, the difference is when Jordan retired in 98, we were kind of trying to crown people who were not ready to be in that conversation. Wemby is something totally different. Wemby has the accolades, he has the resume, he has something we've never seen before. Like that, I think, is what makes Wemby sort of special in the way that's different than when we were like Harold Miner's baby Jordan, right? Or when we were talking about Vince Carter, all respect to him, as being the next Jordan. Victor Wembanyama, the difference is he represents something that we have never seen before on both ends of the ball with that size, and he has the potential. When you look at somebody going against the OKC Thunder, he can crank out some championships against one of those great teams. Like the resume, you can see the pathway for that in a way that we did not in those 1 or 2 years after Jordan left. We were trying to crown people prematurely as the GOAT. Victor Wembanyama is something totally different. And yes, we have always had those conversations from my lifetime, from Jordan on to now.
Put it this way. The NBA has never been made great because of conversations. It's been made great because of players and teams, not conversations. I understand that from a generational standpoint, but come on now. Greatness happens, and that leads to a conversation, not conversation starting greatness. That has never made the NBA greater. Never.
Freddie Coleman, David Dennis Jr., I'm Michelle Smallman. It's Unsportsmanlike. And coming up next, the drama continues with A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles. So who's he going to be playing for next season?